Again, it's very nice to see you. Very good. My Dharma message today, the theme is, as you know, is why a true teacher? In other words, why is it important to have a true teacher? That's my theme today. Okay? All right? So I think everyone has a mentor or senpai. Means like a senpai is a Japanese word, but there's someone who gives you guidance, right? Or I'm sure in your career, professional area, or school, or even hobby areas, don't you think? So for example, we have lots of going on OCBC. We have a basketball, we have a baseball, I'm sure, and then football, and then taiko practice, and Dharma school. We have a lot of Dharma school children, and we have a lot of teachers. And Japanese school, we have Saturday. We have about 10 Japanese schools, instructors, teachers. And how about ukulele? They practice here, right? I hear it. Nice sound. They have a teacher, instructor. And then also kime komido. I don't know if you see it or not, but they have a class here. So, all the students, learners, need a good teacher, like, or coach, or sensei, you call it, to learn and practice with, right? And you know the name sensei. Sensei means like, kanji is sensei, means teacher. Literally means sensei, sen is before, and sei is umareru, kind of to be born before you, or someone before you, and to guide you to the certain path. That's the sensei. So Sangha member call me sensei, and then call Reverend Tuna sensei, right? So that's the sensei means. So Buddha-Dharma is also no exception about this. It's sensei and then learners. So, for example, let's get into more areas. So this Dharma message, as I said, is how important to have or find your true teacher. True is a very important word. You select your true teacher to guide you, right? In every path you do, you go pursue, all right? For example, you know this, kado, flower arrangement. We have a flower arrangement, Ikenobo class today. And you can see that Naijin here, we always prepare 3 vases in front of Amida, Buddha, and Shinran Shonin, and then Myono Shonin. And every Friday we have a flower team to work on. Make 7 vases, including Nokotsudo and Kodo. So early in the morning, Friday morning, I go to flower market and then select the flowers. It's funny, when you go to the flower market, I see lots of flowers. And say, looking around, which one I should get? Looking around, and I see that some of the flowers say, I want to go to OCBC. That kind of feeling I feel. So I just pick up, okay, this is the one. This is the one. So I choose it. That kind of feeling. I feel like, some flowers telling me, take me to your temple. So I buy those flowers. So we get together around 9:30, make those vases. Ikenobo is a very, very traditional flower arrangement school. Not only Ikenobo, there are some other schools as well. One of the flower team, we have lots of nice people, and Janet Arima, Janet Sakahara, Karen Nakagiri, and Jody Hisamoto. Those ladies come and help me. That's a wonderful team. And one of them is Janet Arima, is taking that Ikenobo class years and years, and she has a teacher license, and then she teaches how to make a flower arrangement. It's a very, I would say, I was taking a little bit before, I try to learn basic, but it gets really complicated because some of the rule, like a rikka or something, you have to put this one in the center. There's another small one in front. You have to do also like a bag inside. There are certain aiki-do rules. So to become a teacher, have a license, she has to study all of them. Now she can teach. But again, Janet also has her own teacher who was a Mrs. Arima. So she has also a teacher, and true teacher she had, and she learned how to make flowers. That's a flower path. Kado is a flower arrangement. Ka means hana, flowers. Do means path. Kado is flower arrangement. How about this? You can read chado, right? Chado. This is sort of a tea ceremony. Do you like tea ceremony? Sometimes I have at home a matcha with omanju. That's really good after my dinner and sit down quietly, and I have a little bit chado set and make a, green tea and just sip it with a little sweet omanju or any kind of sweet. It's really soothing. This is chado, So in here, it's luckily we have a teacher in our sangha, and Mrs. Korin and Mrs. Tanaka. Those are the chado and tea ceremony teacher. They have their own school, and then students go to their home and learn how to make a green tea, matcha tea. Again, there is a certain rule, how to sit, how to hold the cups, how to, make a tea, right? So everybody had a teacher to learn how to make a tea. How about this? Budo. I'm not really familiar with Budo, martial arts. Kind of judo. Do you know what judo is? Do you know any kind of judo? Yeah, it's tough. Used to be a Miyaji sensei, was a judo teacher, huh? And I think he got a black belt. That means teacher class. He can teach. Oh, the tough one. But they practice after practice. How about a kendo? We have a kendo class here. They haven't done it yet. They haven't studied yet. But this fun looks like, yeah, something like that, because it's long kind of fence thing. They just hitting each other. They also have a certain rule, right? They need a teacher, an instructor, and practice with. How about aiki-do? I don't know so much about aiki-do. Sometimes they break the brick or something like that, So those are the martial arts, really. So, looking back, I said kado, flower arrangement, chado, tea ceremony, budo. You notice that the green letter is do, do, do. Do also pronounced a michi. Some of the girl had a Japanese name, it's Michiko. Sometimes they use this letter Michiko. So, michi means path. Certain path you started going through. How about Butsu-do then? Butsu-do is path of Buddha. So that means Buddhism is Butsu-do. Everyone with Buddhist pursue the path of the way that Shakyamuni left, and Amida Buddha is leading us. That's Butsu-do, path of Buddha, Buddhism. So again, as Buddhism path is not an exception about the relationship with teacher and disciple and then students. So this moment, I want to talk about a little bit about the relationship with Shinran Shonin and then Honen Shonin. I think I had a Oh, here it is, going back. Sorry about that. So this one is, you see that, you know which one is Honen Shonin? Honen Shonin is facing to the screen on your, this side. Honen Shonin. Honen Shonin is a teacher of Shinran Shonin. Okay, so Honen Shonin is 40 years older than Shinran Shonin. Okay, Shinran is our founder, right? So, of course, Honen is the first Buddhist monk to introduce a Chinese Pure Land Buddhism, actually from Shantou, and then started sharing the teaching of Pure Land Buddhism to be able to, everybody can be liberated. No lows and highs, educated and uneducated, rich and poor, doesn't matter. Before that, before the Honen time, only the selected people, people who can go into the Mount Hiei, can practice and do a Buddhist path. And Honen thought, that's not fair. Amida's teaching must be equal to everyone. So he descended from Mount Hiei, right? And then Shinran Shonin also had the same experience. He was also born in a regular family, but however, his father was working for imperial court. At that time, it's before the Kamakura and the end of Heian period, there was a lot of political unrest, and the social status changed, and all the samurais are rising, and aristocratics are fading away, everything. The change of time. And then the Shinran's father had a job and working in the imperial court, and he lost the job. So he couldn't afford the family members, right? So evidently, the Shinran has to go to Mount Hiei to be a monk. That's his. He was 9 years old. 9 years old. And he went to Mount Hiei and started doing a very difficult practice. He was doing the meditation every day. He was walking around in 90-day meditation, no sleep, nothing except going to the bathroom and have a dinner. That's it. So he had a very difficult practice. But Shinran thought, more I practice, he felt, I think I'm getting away from Buddha. It's not going to work for me. And of course, other people, it's not going to work for them either. So he decided to come down from Mount Hiei to see Honen. So I think that was a dramatic meeting. Shinran met a Honen. Shinran visited Honen's place in Eastern Mountain area in Kyoto. And Honen just knocked the door, and Honen showed up with a nice smile. And then Shinran said, probably, I guess, I'm a Shinran. I just came down from the Mount Hiei. I'm so glad to see you, Honen Shonin. I have a problem. I have been doing this practice Mount Hiei 20 years, but I don't think I cannot find any bright future to attain the Buddhahood. What should I do? That's the Shinran's religious confession, right? Kind of everything closed, and he was saying, I don't know what to do with this. But the Honen said, with a big smile, oh, don't worry. Honen said, that's the same feeling I had on the Mount Hiei. You are not the only one, Shinran. You are with me. I will show you the Amida Buddha's teaching, Namo Amida Butsu, for everyone to get spiritually liberated. So don't worry, Shinran. You come to my school, I teach you, right? So how do you think? To me, Shinran, like, really? I thought I was just like staying in the dark spot. And then I felt so depressed. I don't know what to do with it. But now, I feel like a little path going through. I can see a little light in the end of the tunnel. That kind of feeling that Shinran felt, I'm sure he felt. I think their meeting is very dramatic, right? So from now that, Shinran stayed with Honen several years in Kyoto until the Nembutsu persecution started. Well, Nembutsu was banned because such an easy practice. Some of the schools said, that's not fair. We are doing a very difficult practice amount here. You people only saying Namami Dabutsu, and you can get born in the Pure Land and get a Buddhahood. Cannot be true. That kind of dispute there. But Shinran stayed with Honen. And then finally, Honen and Shinran got exiled, right? With that order from imperial court. And then Honen and Shinran separated. And then they never met each other after that. So this is a story about a Honen teacher and Shinran students. They had a very special relationship. Shinran trusted Honen 100%. When you read the Tanisho, right? Shinran said, I don't care whatever other people say, but I really, truly trust my teacher Honen told me and taught me. I believe this teaching. Okay? So this is, again, is Shinran had a wonderful, true teacher Honen. Other thing, I want to go back a little bit about a 3 Pure Land Sutra. 3 Pure Land Sutra, one of them is a Contemplation Sutra. Yeah, Meditation Sutra. This is a very interesting sutra, and the Shakyamuni Buddha showed a Queen Vaidehi to how to meditate. Queen Vaidehi had a problem, family problems. She confessed to Shakyamuni, I have a very difficult son. Very difficult. I cannot really control him anymore. So please help me. I don't want to live in the world of delusion. I want to be born. I want to get out of here and go to a supreme nirvana. Where should I go? So Shakyamuni showed many Buddha lands to Vaidehi. And Vaidehi chose a Amida Buddha's land. I want to go to Amida's land of bliss. To do so, I don't know what to do. So tell me what to do, Shakyamuni. Shakyamuni Buddha smiled a little bit. I show you, Vaidehi. So Shakyamuni showed 13 ways to meditate, right? And one is imagine the sunset, going sunset, and water, those things, one after another, 13. Those are the people you can concentrate to do a image training. But if you cannot do a concentration or image training, there is another way to do it, to get in, going to the nirvana. That would be we call it 9 different categories of human. Oh, human beings, a lot of various. So there is 9 categories. So they divide the human beings into 9 categories. So one is a highest of highest rank, something like that. So 9 categories. Among them, I don't want to get into so detail, but among 9 categories, people in the highest grade of lowest rank, sort of one with a rank. And those people, let's go back, this one. Those people are those who attain both in the highest grade and lowest rank, although those ordinary people do not slander, that means criticize the Mahayana sutras of great scope, they feel no shame about committing many kinds of bad things. So at that time, those people are kind of last moment of this life. So if those people are laying down in bed, and then true teacher shows up. Again, true teacher shows up to those people. And then this true teacher praises how great Mahayana Buddhism is. And then also this wise teacher, same teacher, further advised this person, to put your palm together like gassho, and then say, Namo Amida Butsu. That's the true teacher's advice to this person in the highest grade and lowest rank. And this person say, Namo Amida Butsu. Because this person recites the name Namo Amida Butsu, his karma, bad karma, binding that person to birth and death for 50 kotis of karpas. I don't know, many years. The Indian people love numbers, right? Love numbers. So I was told, one of the teachers said, I am a human being at this moment. So that means I was reborn all the time. And then I'm reached the world of human now. That means I was not yet enlightened in my previous life. So myself is just repeating the birth and death, eons time, many times. Every time I was born, I make a bad karma. So all the karmas accumulated. So those karmas for 50 kotis of karpas is immediately illuminated if the person said, Namo Amida Butsu. And then other section is people in the lowest grade, lowest rank. This is me. many things, So those are the things, like those people also kind of last moment. And then at this time, true teacher again show up. And then just try to console the person in various ways in preaching the wondrous Dharma. And this teacher says, you know what? Please think about the Buddha. Meditate the Buddha. But however, the person last moment got so upset and then severely tormented by pain, everything. And then the person couldn't really concentrate. So this wise teacher, true teacher said, in that case, let's say Namo Amida Butsu together 10 times. 10 times. If you don't know how to say Namo Amida Butsu, repeat me. I say Namo Amida Butsu. Say Namo Amida Butsu. After 10 recitations, those also, again, is all the karma the person had for 80. Now it's 80 kotis. Before 50, 80 kotis of copper got illuminated. That's what the Contemplation Sutra says. See? So I think true teacher showed up on this Contemplation Sutra, constantly recommends those ordinary people to simply recite the Amida's name, Namo Amida Butsu, to receive eternal bliss. And the Shinran was so impressed, those sections, and then follow the Honen's teaching. Okay, this is a Contemplation Sutra. The relationship is true teacher, and then also the people at the last moment. Lastly, I want to talk a little bit about one of my teacher, Naito Sensei. Naito Sensei here. I don't know if you know him, but until I become a full-time kaikyoshi, I was so fortunate to have so many wonderful teachers to nurture me and guide me. And that was an excellent, grateful experience and opportunity to study at Ryukoku University. And then I met Naito Sensei. He is a Shin Buddhist scholar. And then he was, his specialty is Shinran's writing, and then doctrinal interpretation. And I was lucky, I was studying under him 5 years. And then the first time I met him, he was so great. And then to me, like, well, his sort of radiant appearance, and then so much knowledge. And me, like, I know nothing. I felt so intimidated. And 6 months or so, I couldn't really see his eyes when I take his class. I was always looking down and taking a note. But after a little while, I was able to look at his face a little bit, and then I had a little conversation with him. I thought, he's too great. He is so quiet, afraid. I was afraid. I'm a great teacher. I shouldn't be so close to him. But that was my illusion. One day, I had a question about my paper, thesis, and then I made an appointment with him. And he said, "We are fine. You can come to me after lunch." And I came. I knocked the door. He welcomed me very nice with a big smile. "Have a seat." "Wanderer-san, what do you have? What's the problem?" He was so nice. And I was, wow, this is totally not I was expecting. I thought he would say, "Sit down, what's the problem? You don't understand." He never said so. Instead of that, he said, "Have a seat. What kind of problem you have? Tell me your question." I said, "These are the questions. I don't know what to do." He said, "Okay, you know what?" And he showed me a couple of books. He gave me a very nice advice. He is one of my unforgettable teachers. I never forget him. But unfortunately, he passed away on February 28. Suddenly, I was so shocked. I was so shocked. Still, I couldn't believe. I still have his emails in my Google email. And then also I have recorded his lectures in my computer. I cannot erase them. I cannot erase him forever. So, to me, Naito Sensei is one of the wonderful teachers to guide me to Buddha-Dharma, and then to how to study the academic field. I was so fortunate, and I want to thank you to Naito Sensei and all the teachers I receive, all the teaching. So, today, I talked about why a true teacher. Why do we need a true teacher? Graduation coming up. Some of the people go to college. Some of the people might have a new job or change the job and then go into the professional field. And then you look for a true teacher or mentor to guide you to the right direction. Thank you very much for listening to the Dharma message. And please join me, Gasho, please. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.